Today I am here to announce the indictment stemming from an important and collaborative law enforcement investigation. On Tuesday, May 14th, a federal grand jury sitting in Boise returned an indictment against 10 members of an Idaho prison gang called the Aryan Knights, or AK. As alleged in the indictment, the Aryan Knights gang was formed in the mid-1990s in the Idaho Department of Correction prison system and has continued ever since. The AK was founded to organize criminal activity for a select group of white inmates within the Department of Corrections custody. The AKs have white supremacist and white separatist ideologies. According to the indictment, the Aryan Knights have used violence to target non-white inmates and other targeted inmates to promote its standing among IDOC inmates and to retaliate against inmates that they believe to have cooperated with law enforcement. They've used drug trafficking, extortion, and gambling to generate revenue, which was shared among members. Engaged in money laundering through at least one company outside of prison to conceal the proceeds of its illegal activities. In addition, the AK have a leadership structure through which gang decisions are made, orders are given, and discipline on members is carried out. A recruitment process in which prospects typically commit 2 acts of violence to join the gang. The case is brought under the Federal Racketeering Influence and Corruption Act, or RICO. The indictment has 3 counts. In count 1, 9 defendants are charged with conspiracy to participate in a racketeering enterprise. They are James Ramsey, age 38, Christopher Foss, age 40, Harlan Hale, age 53, Stephen Bowman, age 36, Jeremy Brown, age 40, Nicholas Seitz, age 34, Buck Pickens, age 30, Lucas Johnson, age 30, and Michael McNabb, age 34. As charged in the indictment, and if convicted on the charge of conspiracy to participate in racketeering enterprise, defendants Ramsey, Foss, Hale, Bowman, Seitz, Pickens, and Johnson face up to life imprisonment and a fine up to $250,000. As charged in the indictment, and if convicted on the charges of conspiracy to participate in racketeering enterprise, defendants Brown and McNabb face up to 20 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $250,000. In count 2, Ramsey and Hale also were charged with attempted murder and assault with a dangerous weapon in aid of racketeering for the June 2016 stabbing of an AK member who had come into conflict with Ramsey, the AK's overall leader at the time. As charged in the indictment, and if convicted, these 2 defendants face up to 20 years imprisonment and a $250,000 fine. In count 3, Bowman and Mark Woodland, age 48, were charged with attempted murder and assault with a dangerous weapon in aid of racketeering for the February 2017 beating and stabbing of an inmate associated with a rival prison gang. As charged in the indictment and if convicted, these defendants face up to 20 years imprisonment and a $250,000 fine. All of these defendants, except Mr. Johnson, are currently in the custody of the Idaho Department of Correction. Johnson, a former IDOC inmate, was arrested Wednesday morning. All agencies involved in today's announcement are to be congratulated and commended on their outstanding law enforcement efforts. I also want to conclude by commenting on the remarkable collaboration that went into presenting this case to the grand jury. In 2016, the investigation that led to the indictment was prompted by information uncovered by the Idaho Department of Corrections Special Investigation Unit. Because of the depth and the scale of the conspiracy, the Department of Correction, then under the leadership of Director Jeff Kemp, requested the assistance of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Idaho and the FBI to investigate. Since then, IDOC and FBI investigators have worked hand in hand with each other and with our office to obtain evidence for the grand jury's consideration. The FBI and our office benefited from the continued support of then Director Henry Atencio and current Director Josh Tewald. In addition, the assistance of the Ada County Sheriff's Office and Jan Bennett's with the Ada County Prosecuting Attorney's Office has been invaluable. The prosecution demonstrates the commitment of the Department of Justice, the FBI, the state of Idaho, the Idaho Department of Correction, and Ada County to identify and root out violent and dangerous prison gangs that engage in criminal activity. And this indictment shows that no matter where criminal activity occurs, law enforcement will be there to address it aggressively. Now please remember, this is an indictment, and an indictment is a means of charging a person or persons with criminal activity. It is not evidence. It is merely an allegation. All defendants are presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. Now, I have invited Supervisory Senior Resident Agent Douglas Hart to share a few remarks. After he speaks, we'll be prepared to answer a few questions. Mr. Hart.
Thank you. This case marks the culmination of nearly 3 years of investigative effort. And so, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the United States Attorney's Office and the Idaho Department of Corrections for their exceptional and dedicated work in this matter. The only other thing I'd like to add is that this case exemplifies and reinforces the FBI's commitment to combat gangs and organized crime regardless of where that activity is found. Thank you.